According to the founder of the Axios news site, Donald Trump is more frustrated and possibly even depressed than ever. During an appearance on MSNBC this past week, Axios founder Jim Vandalay said that Donald Trump's shuttering of his blog this past week is evidence that the man is starting to realize that people aren't caring as much about what he has to say. And of course, that is frustrating the hell out of Donald Trump. Here's what Vandalay had to say. I think it's definitely about his reach. He's having a hard time getting through. In general, we're seeing it with our own traffic at Axios. Every media company is seeing people are just not that interested in politics. People are no longer obsessed with what Donald Trump has to say. It doesn't mean he doesn't have a massive following inside the Republican Party, but people just don't care. He's very frustrated. Remember, he's booted off of Facebook. He's booted off of Twitter. You don't really see him on TV that much, and this is a guy who's used to getting a lot of attention. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and correct you on that. Yes, I think a lot of major outlets are experiencing a lull in traffic. A lot of independent folks doing pretty well with the traffic. Has not decreased. In fact, over at Ring of Fire, we just came off the best month we have ever had in, I think, 14 years of having that YouTube channel active. So, no, traffic for a lot of people is good. You just have to talk about stories that people actually care about. Anyway, back to the Trump thing. Yeah, the dude is frustrated. As he mentioned, he doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't have Twitter. Now he doesn't even have a blog. Poor guy has nothing left. And as I pointed out earlier this week, it is because nobody cares anymore. But it's less about what the general public has to say. As soon as he was booted off social media, the rest of the public stopped caring immediately. So we knew that had happened. You know, one of the main reasons Donald Trump did have such a big following and big influence on Twitter was because every time he would send out a tweet, you had a bunch of angry liberals who would attack him, comment something horrible to him, basically trolling the guy and following him only because he was the president of the United States and because they hated him. I know I was one of those people, not one of the reply guys. Trust me, that wasn't me. But every time Trump would send out a tweet, you'd look at the comments, like the first 10 would be the same people every single time. So he doesn't have that. It doesn't matter if it's hate or love that he gets in comments. The more comments he generates, the more he knows people are paying attention. His little blog didn't allow for that to happen. That was just supposed to be the marching orders for his little foot soldiers every single day. They were supposed to come, take the orders, tweet them out, put them on Facebook, whatever, and they didn't do it. And that's what hurts him the most. The fact that the people who claim to love him, who claim to worship him, weren't willing to do the thing that he needed them to do. That is what is frustrating him. It's not everybody else. It's the ones who said they loved him. That's what's driving him crazy right now. And he may get some of it back when he goes on his little rally tour this summer. Of course, we don't even know at this point if that is, definitely happening. If it may happen, how many he's going to do, we don't even know. But I guarantee you, the more he feels frustrated about not having a big enough reach, about not getting the love and attention, I can promise you that's only going to make him want to do more rallies. Of course, that's also assuming that the rallies aren't a complete bust also. We've all heard what Trump has to say, and those rallies are going to be no different. And sure, you're going to have the diehard MAGA fans there, but you're really not going to draw in anybody else. And you're probably not going to have as many maggots there as you would like to think. So, it is what it is. Trump doesn't have the reach that he used to have because nobody seems to care anymore, especially the people who claim to love him the most.